Over 3,000 of the world's best Olympic sailors will travel around the globe, from Melbourne, Australia, to Miami, USA, Palma de Mallorca, Spain, Kiev, France, Medemblik, the Netherlands, Kiel, Germany, and Weymouth, England, to determine the champions of the ISAF Sailing World Cup. Miami, Florida, USA on Biscayne Bay is again the venue for U.S. Sailing's 2010 Rolex Miami OCR, the second stop on the ISAF Sailing World Cup. This year hosts 630 of the world's best sailors, representing 45 nations, many of whom are vying for a spot on their country's respective Olympic teams and a chance to medal in the 2012 Olympic Games.
This regatta has grown for years and years, but what's really put us over the top is the brand new ISAF Sailing World Cup. It's driving participation, and in particular, it's bringing the international sailors to Miami every year. We can expect some world-class sailing in the Olympic boats.
Every division is represented, including the three-person sonar, the two-person Scud 18, and the single-handed 2.4 meter in the Paralympic divisions. And the Olympic classes include the men's heavyweight one-person dinghy, the Fin, the men's and women's one-person dinghy, the Laser and Laser Radial, the men's and women's two-person dinghy, the 470, the men's keelboat, the Star, the men's two-person high-performance dinghy, the 49er, the men's and women's windsurfer, the RSX, and the women's match racing in the Elliott 6-meter. We join the action on the third of this 6-day regatta, and conditions for sailing here in Miami couldn't be more perfect. We've got warm, sunny conditions and a northwesterly breeze about 10 knots as we join the fleet on the water. We begin in the men's keelboat division with the Star, and a fleet that is smaller this year due to the recent World Championships in Brazil, but nonetheless competitive. There's the gun, X flag is up, and we're off. With the yellow jerseys on, American sailors Andy Horton and James Lyne are currently leading this division.
I like sailing stars and doing well and racing against the best, so that's why I sail. There's so much communication in the Star boat. The two of you, big sails, lots of kinetics and moving the boat. And we've trained a bit, but this is about our third regatta, so surprised that we're doing that well.
He rounds the top mark in front, and with scores of a second, first, and a third, he's proving to be unbeatable in this regatta so far. Behind Horton in second place, we find Augie Diaz and Bruno Prada, with Bill Allen and Mike Nickel in third. From the Stars, we move to the women's 470 division, the start of race 2. All clear across the line, Francis Ingrid Predegin and Nadège Beru currently leading the division.
Well, it's the first big event for us for 2010. Well, at the moment it's the beginning of the regatta, so we are just doing the best we can, and then we'll see by the end.
We're back on the line, this time for the men's 470, and it seems a lot of them like this crowded committee boat, and right-hand shift postpones the start. So while the men regroup for another start, we've joined the women who have rounded the top of the course and are now on the first reach. Russia 55, Anna Pirogova and Elena Kryukina are in the lead. 470 men are on their way upwind. Currently leading the division is Israel's Gideon Klieger and Aaron Salah. But this team from Sweden, Anton Dahlberg and Sebastian A. Stig, are in second place. The breeze very even across the track as we have boats approaching for both the left and the right side of the course. It's Stu McNay and Graham Beal in first place from the U.S. At the top, rest of the fleet, crowds in behind them. Deep in double digits, we finally find Gideon Klieger and Aaron Salah, Israel number 7 in about 20th place. The fleet spread all the way across the track downwind, and as they approach the leeward gates, we still find Stu McNay and Graham Beal in the lead. It's good to be king. Our leaders don't have to deal with this mess back at the leeward mark. The women's 470 fleet are on their final downwind run before a short dogleg reached to the finish, and it's the Russian team who was leading. Right now, they're getting pressure from both USA and Denmark. Things have shaken up just before the finish. The final reach into the line, and it's Denmark who has taken over the lead. Henriette Koch and crew, Lenny Sommer, congratulations. Back on the starting lines, this time with the Finns. You can see USA number 4, Zach Raley with the blue shirt. He is just to windward of our current division leader, GBR 41, Scott Giles. And we're off here at the pin end. This is a good matchup here in the Finns. Giles from GBR is currently leading. Just on his windward hip is a Finn silver medalist, Zach Raley. And he'll be looking for gold in this next quadrennium. Right now, he's looking for a lane to tack onto port. Stu McNay and Graham Beal still leading the men's 470 division. Downwind to the finish, Matthias Schmidt and Florian Riedstader. Austria number 3 are in second. Last year's winners, Spain's Onan Barrios and Aaron Sarmiento. They won the entire event. Currently, they're sitting in 4th. The story remains unchanged for Stuart McNay and Graham Beal. It's a wire-to-wire victory in the men's 470s. So as the men's 470s wrap up, we head back up to the Finns. They've rounded the windward mark and are on their way downwind. And it's Brian Boyd, U.S. sailing team member, who has passed Scott Giles for the lead as they head past mark number 2. Heading to the leeward gates, Giles and Boyd have split sides. And we're on our way back upwind. This race is tied. Upwind, the game has changed. Now it's GBR's Edward Wright who's taken over the lead. As the two British teammates battle it out together, yet another lead change now has USA's Brian Boyd back out in front on port tack. A strong lee bow from the left has GBR's Edward Wright just in front of Brian Boyd. The two teams head downwind to the finish. At the finish, the story is the same. It's Edward Wright from Great Britain who's managed to hold off the Finn fleet to take the race. Well, that wraps up day number 3, and we're now halfway through the Rolex Miami OCR. Early leads in some classes are starting to become established, and those hoping to make the U.S. sailing team Alpha Graphics are getting closer to that goal. There's more action here from Biscayne Bay tomorrow, so stay with us. I'm Tucker Thompson. Thanks for joining us.